indefinitely, and he has been enjoying our hospitality for 3 months already. Sir John nodded. He knew all about the devious ploys felons used in an attempt to avoid the inevitable. He glanced at Sherlock, taking in the sly, foxy expression on the man's face, and the way his eyes were never still. He did not think he had ever seen such transparent guilt. "Very well." The sheriff glanced at the parchment he held. "I was listing the items Sherlock stole, some of which were found on his person, such as the white pearls. Next, there was a chalice worth 20 shillings that belonged to the church at Gidding." A murmur of distaste ran through the hall. Theft from a religious foundation was a serious offense. Sherlock heard it, and his composure slipped a little. "I had nothing to do with taking that cup." The sheriff waited for silence, then continued again. The list was extensive. Linen cloth, a brass pot valued at 2 shillings, an expensive rug, a 2-colored coat, a jug he called an urceolum. His monotonous voice droned on, and the jurors' eyes began to glaze as their attention wandered. "We have recovered some of these items, and they are here for your inspection," concluded the sheriff eventually. He turned to rummage in a box he had brought with him. "The Gidding chalice was found in the possession of one Laura Boyner. After Sherlock had sold it to her, she claims she bought it in good faith." He held aloft a goblet, reclaiming the attention of the bored jurors. Even Sir John had been lost in a reverie about the sorry state of his winter cabbages. The cup was not very big, and its battered, stained appearance suggested it was old. There was an etching on one side, which was worn and faint, although anyone with keen eyes would see it involved a baby. "That is worth 20 shillings?" asked Sir John, trying to make up for his lapse in concentration by showing some interest. He took the vessel from the sheriff and studied it. "Is it silver?" "It is just some old thing," said Langer dismissively. "The rector of Gidding maintains he recently bought it from a travelling friar, but when Sherlock stole it—" "I never took that cup," protested Sherlock again. "The other stuff maybe, but not the chalice." "He did, and then he had the gall to sell it to me," declared Laura Boyner indignantly. She was a squat, muscular person who made her living by brewing ale. Sir John had often marvelled at the way she could lift a full keg as if it weighed nothing. "He said it belonged to his grandmother, and I believed him, poor fool that I am." "Poor fool indeed," murmured Sir John, thinking what he would have assumed had a rogue like Sherlock appeared on his doorstep and claimed he had his grandam's silver for sale. "And he stole my linen," added the young woman at Laura's side, speaking because Laura had jabbed her in the ribs with a powerful elbow. Mistress Goadnave was a slender, graceful creature with large blue eyes. "I am a poor, defenceless widow, and cannot afford to lose my few possessions to thieves." "How do you plead, Sherlock?" asked Sir John, watching Langer write down the charges. "Guilty to some of it," replied Sherlock, trying to stand upright. It was difficult with the manacles weighing him down. "But I intend to turn a prover and expose the 8 men and 2 women what helped me steal all these years. Deal kindly with me, your highness, and I shall give you their names." "Speak up, then," said Sir John, although his inclination was to sentence Sherlock and move on to the next case. He was weary of criminals bucking against the inevitable. "He is wasting our time," called one of the jurors, equally keen to be finished before more of the day was lost. Oswald Stanmore was ambitious, determined to make his fortune as a clothier, and because it was market day, he was eager to be back among his apprentices. Next to Stanmore was his youthful brother-in-law, enjoying a break from his studies at the university in Oxford, although Sir John knew why he had not been pressed into jury service. Matt Bartholomew had a sharp mind and would ask too many questions. They would probably be perfectly valid ones, but no one wanted to spend all day ironing out details that were irrelevant to the outcome anyway. "The law compels us to hear what the accused has to say,"